This dad's a piece of shit. This lazy-ass motherfucker fell asleep while watching his kids and they all ran off, and now he has to go find them in some dangerous-ass places. Then he has the audacity to blame his kids, saying all this shit. Well, I wouldn't have to save you if you just... Man, shut up. You wouldn't have to save them if you would stay awake, you dumb shit. On a real note, this game was a lot of fun, and it was sort of challenging at certain parts of the game. It had a short tutorial, which is always nice. I hate tutorials, but the controls suck damn fucking far. Sometimes I'll be walking one way, and for no reason, it'll change my direction, which most likely get me fucking killed. But they are simple. You either move left or right or jump. The level design was very unique, and it felt like a real platformer, not some cheap-ass Mario knockoff. And then, as I mentioned before, it was pretty challenging at some points, and I even found myself getting really angry at the game. You start every level on the ground, sleeping like the lazy bitch you are. Then you hop out and go until you find your kid at the end of the level and exchange a silly interaction, which often is genuinely funny. And many have made me laugh, like the fat one, or the one with the cowboy hat, and the evil one. You even run into a possum at some point that becomes a recurring theme throughout the game series. And even... What? No way. There's checkpoints in some of the longer missions, which are nice, and there's stars in each level, which gives you more than one objective than just grabbing your kid at the end. I enjoyed the simplistic and fun art style of the game. The art and animation was just very, very polished, and clearly a lot of work went into it. And even just the intro itself showcased that. The enemies are pretty simple too. You got the burger guy who runs back and forth, the pizza guy, the soda guy who just straight up commits suicide to try and kill you, the fucking fry guy, Bars, who's kind of like the burger guy, but he hops. And the fucking bitch-ass hot dog guys. Fuck those guys. I also kept getting this weird, funny, horny-ass ad, and it was fucking hilarious every time I got it.
I've been waiting for you for a long time. Is it still swollen there? I'll give you a massage. I'm very good at it.
Like, what the fuck? I'm playing a goddamn kids game. That shit got interrupted by this weird-ass ad. I also kept getting this one. It was ridiculously loud every time.
I've searched earth to bask in the light of the one. You yearn to master block blast my son. Dad, no, it's a figure of speech, but kids stick with me for score soaring into history. Relax the mind, pass the time.
As hard as that shit goes, that shit hurt my ears every fucking time. Thank God I don't gotta pay for no fucking ads and I could just turn my Wi-Fi off because I'm not a fucking idiot. Anyways, back to the gameplay. The bosses fucking sucked. They were funny and had some cool designs. Like this one guy who was a pizza and said his name was a hot dog, even though he's clearly not a fucking hot dog. That was pretty funny. But they were really simple and they had no sort of movesets at all. And you could tell that a lot of more work was put into the rest of the game rather than the bosses, which I do appreciate. But the bosses need some loving too, man. Like, come on. What I liked about the bosses, though, is that after you ruthlessly murdered them and right in front of your child, you get to jump on their head like a goddamn trampoline. Dadish is a decent 2 out of 5 game. It was okay. By no means was it horrible, it was a fun game, but it wasn't anything groundbreaking to me. And the sound design was actually really good. The jumping sound, the dying sound, opening doors, the spring sound, I loved it. The soundtrack, on the other hand, kinda fucking sucked. It didn't feel catchy at all, and it just kept getting repetitive and more repetitive, and I couldn't stand it, and it just got very old very quickly. Dadish 2 actually had some noticeable improvements to it. Now, Dad was still a piece of shit, and the controls still sucked dick, and the soundtrack was really good this time, but it still got very repetitive. Part 2 also adds some new enemies to the game, like the running pool guy that wants to smooch, or the mustard guy that shoots his insides at you, pause, and the donut and the chicken wing guy, and the chocolate guy who appears much later in the goddamn game. The bosses in part 2 are still really fucking easy, but they are unique and distinct from one another, and they are polished just enough to feel satisfied when you kill them. And they still have funny interactions and kept the theme of the silliness of the game. And what's funny is that the burger that you fucking murdered in part 1 comes back as your noble steed before brutally betraying you. The level design is still really good and probably got the most noticeable improvement in part 2. Beautiful artistic themes like the temple or the swamp with music that just fits perfectly. And there's so much more new tech that just enhance the levels, like the cannons, the vines, the slanted springs, the balloons, and just many hazards, too many. But there are some noticeable bugs in some of the levels that can get a little annoying. Like this one level where I just walked over the falling rocks without a thought, and when I backtracked for the star, I couldn't make it over. Something small, but it got a little annoying when it happened on multiple instances. But there are some instances where it is funny. Like this one level where you're supposed to hop down and this poo guy chases you, but if you just double jump, you could just keep walking without him chasing you. But after playing for a while, because part 2 is longer than part 1, it just starts to get boring and all the levels start to feel bland. And just when I thought I was done with the game, it pulled me back in. Space in video games has so many endless possibilities, so it wasn't a surprise to me to have as much fun as I did playing the space levels in Dadish 2. Space has some of the most creative levels that I've seen in this game series so far, and I truly had a lot of fun playing it. Where the fuck is the star? Okay, I don't think it's up here. I think it's down here, actually. Yeah. Okay. What's down here? Oh shit, wait, this is the beginning, god damn it. Fuck! It's not like it was hard anyway. Alright, I made it, okay. Easy, now I just gotta wake this guy up. Good morning. And I gotta get this part. This game sucks. Boing, okay, now I gotta... Hello, goodbye. Jump through this part easily. And just like that, it's as easy as that, ladies and gentlemen. It's as easy as that. By far my favorite level has to be this one where you gotta push the giant box on top of the guy's head, and then you're gonna walk over here, jump on top of this box right here, boing, go up here, jump on this button right there, jump on that balloon, jump on this balloon, bam, then you grab the key, then you fall all the way down and push the box over to the next one just to do it all over again. It wasn't the hardest or most troubling mission, but I felt like it was definitely the most creative. Dadish 2 is what Dadish 1 wanted to be, and I have to give it props for the noticeable improvements to part 2 and the work to do better, and I expect to see the same, if not better, improvements in part 3 as I haven't played it yet. And my girlfriend and my niece enjoyed watching me play, and I love when they spend time with me that way. I give Dadish 2 a 3 out of 5.